Exploring the world of Hinduism. That word Hinduism sounds like it's one religion, but it's really a family of religions, a group of religions. That term Hinduism comes from the early days of European exploration of India, especially in the early 19th century, when foreigners who explored India referred to what's today called the Indus River Valley as the Hindus River Valley. Many of these early explorers in India were Portuguese, and they couldn't pronounce Indus without pronouncing it as Hindus. And they called the people who lived among the Indus River, they called them Hindus. And as they described the religious beliefs of these people that they met, they began calling their religion, or rather these religious beliefs, Hinduism. Well, of course, being from outside, they couldn't see that, in fact, there's a variety of religious expressions along the Indus Valley in India. And they all got lumped together into Hinduism. It would be like an explorer from Mars visiting Florida and describing all the different religious beliefs among the people that this explorer met as Floridism, and then summarizing things as how Florids believe about things. What do Florids believe about this or that? Well, you can see what the confusion would be. So keep in mind that there is a lot of variation among Hinduism. But also, by far, the most dominant group within Hinduism is what's called Advaita Vedanta. That's the one that Smith focuses on in the textbook. That's the one that I'll be focusing on in the videos, because it's by far the dominant movement. And more about that movement later. About Hindus in the world today, there are between 700 million and 800 million Hindus in the world today. Just to give you some scale, the population of the United States is about 330 million. So that's about a little more than twice the population of the United States. By far, most of these people who identify themselves as Hindus live in India. About 1 million people in the United States identify themselves as Hindus. Although it is important to keep in mind, when you meet people of Indian ancestry in the United States, many of them will call themselves Hindus, meaning that they come from their ancestors, or they come from India, and not necessarily mean that they identify with a religious movement within Hinduism. Remember, from the very beginning, there was this mass identification of people from the Indus River Valley as being Hindus, and so just be careful when you meet someone in the United States who might identify themselves as Hindu. They may or may not be identifying themselves as a religious believer of one of these groups within Hinduism. They may be identifying themselves as someone of Indian ancestry.